life. I worked it out. I am so very sorry. This morning we were having a little bit of technical difficulties. That's the story of our lives nowadays, right? When it comes to online education. But anyways, my name is Katie Alm. I am an artistic educator with the wonderful company Joico. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Again, I apologize for being a little bit late. My Capricornness really does not like to be late. But technology is technology, right? Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Katie Alm. I'm from Southern California. I am here live in my salon suite, as you can tell. Super fun and cute, and I can't wait to show you my Y2K looks. Y2K has been big this year. You can go to Target, you see all your butterfly clips. You go online, everyone's doing that chunky weaves. Please talk in the chat. Hello, everyone in the chat. I would love to talk. Even if you want to talk outside of this, I am on Instagram, TikTok, and now I think I need to go on YouTube because these lives on YouTube, why was I missing out on this? I had no idea. But today I'm going to show you two different modern Y2K inspired looks. A lot of people are coming in wanting that really hardcore, chunky money piece, but also that stripy look that, you know, we've had forgotten about purposefully, but it's back and it's here and audio is good. I'm so glad to hear. I'm very loud. I can talk really loud. Hello, Stephanie. That's my beautiful TM. I can't wait. Hopefully one day we can see each other again in person. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. But anyways, we're going to do a modern take on my Y2K look. I'm going to bring her a little closer. I only did half the head so you can get a good idea. These lighting's a little weird. Good idea. We're going to do the other side. So we're going to go from late 2010s to early 2000s again, utilizing some of Joico's amazing color, our Blonde Life Cream Lightener, and some of my favorite are Blonde Life Quick Toners. I'm actually going to also show you a second look because sometimes applying color, even though it's going to be in a fun color blocking area, it's not that fun to watch live. So I want to be able to apply that color and then do something else while we're waiting for the process. This is a beautiful blonde doll head. My amazing territory manager asked what kind of blonde, and I said light blonde, and this is screaming from the sun, light blonde. So I'm going to do a take on how to take your platinum girls from just plain platinum all the way to a little bit more Y2K inspired, but temporarily, because you know those girls, by summertime, they're going to want to be full platinum again. So I'm going to use our quick tones in violet and sand to show you how you can get a really fun underneath kind of color, but very temporary because, you know, they're going to, not very temporary like it's going to wash out in one wash, but temporary as in by the time they come back for summer, it's not going to be hard to get it down. So I hope you are here for the ride. We're here for about an hour and a half. This thing is making some weird sounds, so I'm actually going to take it off. Sorry about that. Don't want to hear that in the background. But we're here for about an hour and a half. I'm going to show you how I section my gal, and then we're going to apply some color, chit chat about color in the chat. If you have any questions, please let me know. And again, my name is Katie Alm. If you want to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, Instagram is Katie Alm with 2 E's, and TikTok is Katie Alm with 1 E. And I hope we can get started. I did already mix up the color a little bit just because I thought we were going to be a little bit more on time. So I have I'm using actually Youth Lock, which typically we would not put on our ends of our hair color. Let me grab one of these Youth Locks. But you know, with our shortages and everything going on, you can get what you can get, right? So I'm going to use 4NNG as my low light. That's what you see right here. And then I Blonde Life Cream Lightener with 20 volume, maybe 10 volume right in the front because she's already super light right here, just to get that nice pack of punch. And again, we'll be toning with quick tones. My sectioning took some time because it is stripy. You would think that it's like a really easy look to do. It is. Once you get the sectioning down, it's really just kind of filling in the lines like that. So I'm going to show you, I did section on a different doll head, and I did not mean for her to look cornrow-esque, but she definitely does, so that was an accident. But here's my little subsectionings. We are going to do diagonal backs, but I'm kind of starting with like a pinwheel kind of top. So we're starting at, this is the top where our money piece, we're going to do a really hardcore, chunky money piece, and then every other one after that will be alternating from our light to our dark, our light to our dark. And then back here, underneath all of this, I made her all dark, just all one solid color. Then we did a dark, we did a light, and then one more dark on top. All right, again, I already did that to her a couple of days ago, so you weren't going to watch me apply brown to the back of her underneath part of her head, but it gives it this kind of stripy look without it being too intense. Then after we're done foiling all the blondes, we're gonna put in our dark color, but I'm actually gonna hit each base of the blonde with the dark, and that's gonna kind of make it more of that modern look. So when we're down like this, you still get that chunky vibe without it being counting the amount of colors in their hair, which was super in back then, and there's a different way to do it now that's super in too, but is it just like a softer version, and the clients can still have that like very Y2K, Y2, I don't know, Xtina look, right? So I'm gonna do that right now. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the chat. When we get to Miss Blondie, I'll show you how we're gonna use some Defy Damage, apply it, and then we're gonna wash it right after. Because if you don't know, Defy Damage is Joico's bond rebuilding product. We have a Pro Series 1 and 2 and then a whole Hairline, and it's absolutely life-changing. So let me just get sectioned up real quick. I'm actually filming with an iPad today, so it's gonna be kind of far, but I'll be posting all these pictures on my Instagram after, and I'm sure Joico can reshare them. Maybe Salon Republic will as well, which would be wonderful. I love Salon Republic. I've had a special place in my heart for them for the last few years. They've always been so wonderful to me, and I love educating for you guys. It's so much fun. So I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna section off, where's my little tray? I'm gonna section off this front money piece. Can you see me? Okay, hopefully I'm trying not to block it. We are gonna do a big, bold money piece. We're gonna start pretty much where you see it. It's already right here, about an inch back, kind of doing a diagonal back, and I'm gonna chop the ear almost in half. There's a lot of baby clips in this one, and that way it's a little bit more controlled, but also not so bulky. I think I need a little bit more than that actually. Again, diagonal back, it gives more of like a triangular look, especially when we move on to these sections. We're gonna get a little bit more wider at the base, giving it more packs of punch in here, but less chunky at that top area. So I think that looks good. Here's our first little baby section. I prepped her with Defy Damage before I did the half of the color like 2 days ago, I think. So Miss Dollhead has seen probably some better days. She's been used a handful of times on Facebook Lives. I think she came from one of our events in the past. She's seen some better days, so I think we might retire her after this class. So again, pinwheel, we're gonna do more of like a small, hope you can see that. You can't see that. I'm gonna get a little closer. I'm gonna do a pinwheel with, we're gonna go a little bit here, starting with a smaller piece of the triangle and then going down past the ear. So let me do that real fast and I'll bring it back to the camera and show you. One thing I do miss about in-person education is that everyone can get up in there, you know, and you see everything going on. So starting a little smaller, but I'm gonna go past the ear. The goal is to connect this underneath brown to this one side piece right in the front. That way you don't get some weird peekaboos coming through, but it gives you that really color blocking effect. So here we go, we're gonna be past the ear. You can kind of see we're connecting into that darker brown that I did a couple of days ago. So here's our second subsection. Oh, I definitely want to check the other side to make sure we're nice and balanced, because you don't want to be one stripy extra on one side and then one not as much on the other, right? So keep going, more pinwheel S, starting smaller here, going a little bit further back. This is going to be a blonde piece, that actually might be too much. I think we have blonde, brown, blonde, brown, blonde, brown, yeah. So this is going to be a nice blonde piece, minus the brown that I grabbed from the previous. Another little baby subsection. I know, this is not very fun. This is why I did half of it before, so I could show you, because it's, again, kind of watching like paint dry. Another subsection going down. This will be dark. Connecting into that dark brown that we did before already. Doing a little bit chunkier on the bottom is going to give us a little bit more packs of punch in this area, which I think is fun. We are running out of our big clips. I knew that was going to be the case. We're actually going to split this probably 2 more times, I believe. One more dark, one more light. So we got light, dark, light, dark. This will be a light, I think, Again, we're gonna double check after to make sure we're not, we're balanced on the both sides. There we go. I love these little baby double clips from Olivia Garden. They are so helpful when you're doing a bunch of mini subsections like I am. Get this guy in there. How's everyone doing today? Are we familiar with Joico's hair color? Have we used it before in the past? Joico is one of my favorite things about doing hair. I love the innovation and I love the support team. Throughout all of this craziness, it's been wonderful to have such a family friendship with them. So another piece. I think we're gonna finish on, this might be one more blonde piece back here. And then our back triangle top piece is already dark. So let's check for symmetry. Yeah, I hope you all have a beautiful day today. It's a very nice, bright, summery day, it feels like. I did get here a little early this morning to make sure everything was going to work out fine, and who would have known we would have ended up having a few technical difficulties. I haven't looked up at the chat in a while. Hopefully people are not talking to me and I'm just ignoring you. I'm very sorry if you are not, if I'm not seeing your messages. So we have all of our mini subsections going on right here. Let's get that light going on. You can see better. All of those fun little subsections. There's like 6 of them. And then you can see how I did in the back. It's a nice chunk of brown, but then you still have a little bit of pieces of blonde in there, so it's not just one big black hole back here. So super fun. I just wanted to challenge myself to do something a little different outside of the box compared to just grabbing one big chunk at the top. Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna just get this out of the way. Perfect. I want to make sure we're going to be working away from her face, ending in the face area, because this is a little bit more, like I said, the fragile. She's been my model for a few times, so we don't want to put too much heavy in for too long. So I'm going to be working all the way from the face. It's also better for client comfort, and just to work a little bit more precise and say your back is done. It's easier to wash out the back than it is the front. So we have our light, and then our dark, and then our light, and then our dark, and then our light, dark, light. Perfect. I think we are even. We are good to go. So like I said, I will be using Youth Lock on the brown part in 4 NNG, natural gold. We have a bunch of beautiful shades that match pretty much all of our Lumi 10 shades, but the cool part about it is it actually has collagen in it. It's going to help lay down any of those wiry hairs that we get as we age. And I don't know about you, but I ended up with a little bit more gray hair this last time with COVID in the pandemic and everything. So I need Youth Lock now more than ever. So we got light, dark. This is another chunk of light. I'm just gonna pull it away so I can make sure everything's looking good. And I'm gonna get mixed up. This little section is falling apart up here. Let me fix you real fast. Perfect. So I'm also going to be doing a balayage technique inside of our large foils and our blonde pieces. That way you get that really soft edge without that harsh, lines, and then when you add your brown in there, it's going to feel like it's just that much more blendy, which we love. Okay, again, I'm going to start in the back area. Just wanted to fix that little piece, sorry guys. So, let me know in the chat area if you work at Salon Republic or if you are just a fun hairstylist that likes to educate themselves and loves supporting Salon Republic as well. Let me know. There we go. Awesome. Okay. I'm ready to get started. I did already pre-mix my lightener and filler. I probably wouldn't have done that so early, but if it wasn't for the little bit of behind. So I'm gonna put my gloves on, make sure I'm protecting myself. Got my little pink gloves. These are my favorite gloves of all times. So I am gonna use our Long Life Cream Lightener. You're going to get 9 plus levels of lift with this. This is our powder bleach, but this is our cream version of it. Both the powder and the cream, will be getting the 9 plus levels of lift. So this has, I always try not to butcher the name, Tamanui oil and, oh my gosh, see, I can't say the other one, Mananui. Joico's going to be really mad at me. It's hard to pronounce them. But it's got amazing oils inside of it, and it's going to help soothe the hair, but also make the hair stronger as we're lifting out, because it is our power lightener. So you can mix this 1 to 1 or 1 to 2 on and off the scalp. Today I'm going to be doing it off the scalp in some foil. So balayaging with this is one of my actually favorite things to do, especially nowadays that we do not have our balayage lightener anymore. So here's 20 volume mixed 1 to 1. I'm actually using one of Joico's angled little brushes so I can get even more of a feathered look. I'm just going to stir this together real quick, and then we're going to get started. Especially on some of the bigger pieces in the side in these areas. Today I'm going to be using Joico's artisan foils. I don't know if you've ever seen them in our section before at Cosmoprof, but they are extra large foils, which is perfect for doing large subsections like I'm going to do today. All right. Move this a little closer if I can. Maybe I can make her higher. Would that help? That might help. I think my next purchase is going to be a new iPhone, but also, do they have tripod stands for big old iPads? I'm gonna have to look into that. So if this ever happens again, we don't have to deal with that. It looks like there's a little bit of the dark brown in here. I'm going to scoop you out. So we are going to start with our cream lightener and 20 volume in a foil balayaging. I love to balayage pretty much any in the foil things nowadays, just so I can make sure we are having such more blended looks. Nobody really wants to have that foil straight from their scalp anymore, even when it comes to doing things like this. So I'm going to probably split this, even though it's a very small subsection, but still going to split it in half just for more preciseness. And I'm going to do some foiling real quick, so don't mind me. Right. Oh, there's still some dark in there. Anyways, so here's our cream. It's a really great consistency. It goes on really nicely. Let me turn this even more so you can see it. This ring light, I don't know if it's helping or making it worse. So I'm just going to start painting in there. I like to start with more of like a strong line. And then I take our angled brush and just kind of feather it up. Away from the hair, again, away from the face, I mean, helps with the way it smells for you and for your client. I'm going to fold it in. I got to remember that I am not wearing an apron because I am a notorious wipe your hands on your apron kind of a gal. So I need to not do that today. Got a little baby foil one. I'm going to grab a towel real fast. Perfect. So probably split this one in half too. You want to take obviously same kind of thinner sections. Even though we are balayaging, you still want to be nice and precise. And then again, when we go in, we're going to hit every single base of the foil with our base color and our ends color so we can make sure we are nice and blended. I'm also going to be using our Joico's new shampoo called Colorful. If you've ever used it, let me know in the chat. It's one of my favorites. It smells so wonderful, but it really helps my hair feel like fluffy in the best ways possible. And with this really colorful hair, it really helps keep that color nice and shiny. But I will say I used it a lot during the time that we were closed. My hair was a little stressed out, and it was the only thing that made my hair feel soft again. So, all right, we got those little guys. We got one more little piece right here. And we're gonna skip that whole next subsection and keep blending. It is kind of satisfying to do these colors. I got this kind of hair color, but I was not a hairstylist in the early 2000s. I was still in high school myself, so I absolutely had the blonde on top with the brown underneath. Sometimes if I was feeling fancy, I would add like a little line of red in between, but it really wasn't red. It was probably like a natural reddish color, you know. So I was probably too scared to go red like I am now, but so I never got to actually do these kind of hair colors, but I got to wear these kind of hair colors, which was fun. So now as a hairstylist for us coming back, and now I've lived long enough through a decade that it's made its way back around, it's kind of fun that I get to do these hair colors now. So there's our blonde. And then our next color is going to be our dark brown. We are going to skip that completely. Here's our big old brown chunk. We'll fill that in after we're done. After we're done bleaching. All right. This is where those big artisan foils really come in handy. Nothing like doing vertical highlights, right? One of the harder things, I think, personally. So I'm going to section this top part out. Probably do 4 foils and then move on to the next one. So I think once we get all the sectioning in, it is just kind of filling in the dots, you know? Let's see if I missed that one. Filling in the gaps, filling in the dots. But I think your clients will get that really fun packs a punch. We will feel very nostalgic like we have if you did wear this hair color back in the day. And we can all go meet at Target after and get some butterfly clips to match. This year I turned 30 years old and I had a Y2K themed birthday party. And it was so fun. We listened to all the fun music. It was kind of like I had a slumber party, but with all of my adult friends that I didn't have when I was younger. So it made me really look into a lot of fashion and just be nostalgic towards some of the other eras. And I think that Y2K had a really fun hair and clothing era. So right now I'm just covering all of these ends, and then don't forget to do a nice little feather technique when you get to this top section. So top part of the foil, so we're not having that really hard bleed line. That's where that balayage technique kind of comes in. I was going to balayage, and then the other blonde doll head came in, and I thought, well, that's not safe to do because she is so blonde already. So we're just going to give her dimension using our pink tone color. So here we go, locking those foils into place. This one's a little bit smaller. Do you think I can get away with not a big foil? Probably. So I absolutely adore the artisan foils. They're some of my favorite foils to use, especially when you're using long hair, or if you just need something to subsection your fun colors. I gotta make sure I'm watching the time because I will talk the whole time and then look up and it will be 3 hours in. Just kidding. So blended that out a little bit and go through, close this foil. Oh, does anyone have this kind of hair right now? Let me know in the chat below. Do we have Y2K inspired hair? Are we going back to some of our old fashioned that we've been using back in the day? It is kind of fun to see the modern takes on what we all used to wear when we were in high school. Yeah, Target has been the place. I've had so many fun little different looks. All right, back to the artistry foils and the bigger subsections. When I get closer to the top, I'm actually going to be even more cautious when I'm blending, so we don't have that really harsh line. I think that was one of the things that we all didn't love so much about this look, is that it had super, super, super harsh lines. So it can still be a nice chunky vibe without it being too stark, I guess you could say, or too different compared to what we had before. So I think sometimes our blondes come in and they go, add some dimension, and then I get really scared because I think it's gonna be too much, so I go really light, but then actually you never get to see that real dimension, so I think this would be a really cool way to add, even if someone has solid blonde already, you can add some dimension and chunkiness. You don't have to use a level 4, you know, we could use even a level 8, and then, you know, your normal level blonde 9, so it can definitely be used in multiple different ways to add extra dimension, not just doing the Y2K with the dark brown and the blonde next to each other. That might need a bigger foil, actually. I was running low on these foils, so I'm gonna have to hit that Cosmo Pro sometime this week and grab some more, but as we all know, it's been a little hard to find some of our favorite products, so I gotta bear with the brands while they try to figure out how to get their stuff to the people that need it. Again, I'm just blending a little bit softer on the top area. I'm not used to working with a doll head this tall. I guess I have clients that are this tall, but for where my iPad is sitting up at the top of my, it's like on a shelf where I keep my color intensities, so. Next time, you guys, I promise I'll have a better doll head stand. Nice and blended on the top. Let's close this foil. And then we're done with that one. This has got, that was blonde. Excuse me, I'm gonna sit before the camera real quick. That's brown, that's blonde, that's brown. Perfect, okay. This whole section is brown. Let's pull it back. Well, I wish all foiling was this fast and easy for me. It's not. So let's keep going. I'm probably going to split this in half again just to make it a little bit more manageable of a subsection. Has this been a look that your clients have been asking for a lot, or are they still like weary because we're all scarred from the 2000s and we don't want to go back to that? What's everyone's vibe? What's everyone feeling? That's what I want to know. We'll use a big artisan foil. Oh. How are we all feeling about the online education? I love it and wish we could go back in person so much at the same time. I love that I can bring some joy on a Monday morning to anybody that wants to watch, and they don't have to take their day off, they don't have to leave their house, they can still hang out with their kids on their day off and still get some cool education. So I love that virtual part, but I know I miss seeing people in real life and being able to chat with you all in real life. So one day we'll get back to that. We're nice and blendy at this top area, making sure we're getting all of those pieces covered. Ooh, nothing beats these big boys. They are so easy to use. Keep closing this one more time, I think. I'm gonna have to use my body real fast, sorry guys. Too big. That's the one thing about doing hair on camera is making sure you're not blocking the view of anybody. Still think that's too big of a section, huh? A little bit. But once we get to the front, again, since she was bleached so many times, let's make sure we're not leaving that front on for too long. But Youth Lock does process for 45 minutes, so we do plan to leave it on for 45 minutes. To see the final end results, you will have to come back to my page at some point and check those out. Since I can't keep you here all day, you do have other life besides me. That doesn't look good right here. Yeah, leave that guy out. All right. I feel very proud of myself that I'm bleaching, not in an apron. If you know me from Joico, you know that I can, or even if you're a client of mine, you happen to be scrolling through YouTube and see this, you know that I can be a little messy, you know, so I like to say artistic, not necessarily messy, but not being in an apron sometimes gives me anxiety, but let's face our fears head on, right? Again, going against the grain a little bit towards the top. Get that nice little blendy look. Alright, close that guy. Oh. One of my favorite things that we're going to use is a quick tone. I don't know if you guys have used any quick tone toners before, or Joicos even, but I absolutely love them. They come in silver, sand, violet, and clear, and they are all interchangeable, intermixable. It's one of my favorite parts about them, and they work within 5 minutes. For the next gel head, I'm actually going to leave the sand color on the underneath part for 20 minutes. That's how I'm going to give some dimension underneath without being super temporary or super permanent. You know, people do come in and they want to have, oh, add that brown underneath my head, but you have to fill that platinum blonde, and it's going to turn it greenish if we don't, right? So I think it would be a really fun way to add that darkness underneath with our sand color. It's really balanced, so it's not going to turn it green or anything, but if you leave it on for about 20 minutes on platinum hair, you're going to get a really pretty undertone. They're going to feel like they're darker under there, but again, if they decide to last minute change their mind next time they come in, you're not fighting through the filler and all of the brown that you put on there. And then say they do, oh my gosh, I love it, it's my favorite, do it more permanent next time. But this way they can try to test it out without you having to fill it, and you can just get a good little sneak peek. If you are my client, you know that I do that quite often because people, sometimes they want it, and they might keep it a few times, but eventually we like to go back to what we used to before. So making sure that you're kind of always working ahead of the process. All right. Maybe like 2 more foils up here, and then we'll get to that nice bold money piece. Those money pieces are so in right now. I gotta come on this right side. Those bold money pieces are super in. We all love them. I even have it right now. Mine's a little off. One side's a little higher than the other, and that's actually on purpose because I used to wear my bangs straight down. But I'm actually in the process of growing them out right now. So one would be a little bit more brighter than the other bang side would be. So, but I kind of like it because you can be really customizable. You can do it really thin, really chunky, and depending on what kind of lifestyle your client has, say if they're not a really gym wearer, they don't have to wear their hair up super a lot at work, a money piece is so fun and like bold of a change for everybody. But maybe your work doesn't allow you to do that, or you do have to wear your hair up a lot. You could do a little underneath, and that would be fun too, kind of where I put the brown here on this doll head. Why don't we do a little fun underneath color? So there's always options to work with their job. So blending this at the top a bit. I don't even know how long it's been. I can't even see that far. I do only wear glasses when it comes to seeing far distances. Not this time, so we'll see. But thank you again for joining me on your day off. It means so much to me that people want to hear me talk. Well, fun fact about me, I used to think that I could never do this, but it was always a goal to be an educator, and Joico gave me the opportunity, and it's been a whirlwind of a beautiful thing ever since. I met some of my best friends this way, and I could never be more grateful for Joico. All right. Next big piece. Oh. Let's get it painted in there. Oh my gosh. Spilling foil over here. What's everyone's lunch plans? What are you doing for lunch today? I'm not a big lunch eater myself, but I do like breakfast. This morning I had a blueberry scone from Starbucks. It was good. So, just painting her hair. Some nice pops of color in here. I think after I'm done with this look, maybe we'll do a poll on my Instagram stories. You guys can help me choose what color we should throw over the blonde, and we'll make it a fun color look. My dad suggested me do a Billie Eilish look on a doll head. I've never done that before. Maybe that's an option one time. That would be fun, using our Kelly green or something. But all right, one more piece right here, and then we'll move to that money piece in the front. Let me see these little baby guys. All right. Let's see, it's been 35 minutes. Look at me foiling kind of slow, actually. That's not great timing. But that's okay, we're having fun here today. Nice and blended at this top area. I'm trying to not fold up and like do this with my foils anymore. I feel like it really does help, but you do have to fold it into itself so you can get those ends nice and covered. Nice and blended. Perfect. Oh, one more chunk of brown like this, and now let's move to that money piece. Get this out of here. All right, we are going to all the way to the scalp, tiny babies. Can you see this house? Foil the heck out of her, but you can see that she's already super blonde all throughout here. She maybe has like a little bit of a shadow root from the last kind of thing that I did. So I want to be careful with that, so I'm actually just going to apply probably in this area with 20, and then maybe I'll mix up a new formula for 10 on the ends real fast. Actually, we'll do that just to save our hair. We want to be as safe as we possibly can. So, where did my cream lightener go? Here we go. I'm going to mix it up right here just a little bit. You can see how thick it is when it comes out, but when it blends together, it's so creamy. Okay, I'm going to do 1:1 with 10 volume. I am going to be using our Lumi 10. It is important to try to keep the Lumi 10 with the Blonde Life, the new technology with the new technology. It's always going to be your best bet. So let's mix this together. And again, I'm going to put this on the ends here so we can still get it nice and bright and light, but without doing any breakage or damage. Luckily, I sprayed our Defy Damage before we even started, when I did this a couple of days ago, which is going to give you 80% less breakage. It's also going to help even out your porosity, so it's going to lift and deposit the color even better. I'm going to come on this side of my thread real fast, do a little work smarter, not harder kind of a moment. So you can kind of see once it's all mixed together, it's nice and creamy, nice and thick, kind of like frosting is what I like mine at. Everyone's different. So definitely a to each their own kind of moment. Where is my, there we go. All right. So this one I'm going to be a little bit more precise. Oh, that was weird. Doing our whole hairline. 20 volume at the top, and then on the ends is going to be 10 volume. But don't mind me while I do this so fast. Well, I have you all here. Have you tried our new Lumi 10 yet? It's our 10-minute gray coverage touch-up that just launched, and it's amazing. Comes in a bunch of different matching Lumi Shine shades, and you're going to get 100% gray coverage in 10 minutes only. So we're going to fully all the way to the scalp. And then when we get to the base color part, I'm going to actually just slightly touch it onto there, just so we can blend it out, make it not as bold, but still more bold than the rest of the blonde. So I'm taking little baby subsections out of this hairline, trying to get every piece of the hairline. Nothing worse than when you go to wash out and you see one little tiny baby hair like that didn't get covered in the hairline. I'm going to split this in half. You know, doll head hair is always a little funkily sewn in. That's why I love a double clip, because it just kind of clips in real place, or it just falls down, you know, same thing. Same thing. Let's get a stronger clip. Where are you? Nope. Where is he? Okay. Here we go. For around here, I kind of like to make the foil a little smaller of a surface area. so I can get in there a little tighter. 20 volume at the base. I think this was, oh, I can't even tell you honestly. This is the last time I did a live I used this gel head, so that's how long it's been since I have touched her. She does play props as someone in my TikToks I like to use as my little background gal. Are you on social media like that? You guys like to TikTok? It's one of my favorite places to go veg out and to make silly content. Let's fold these up. TikTok is the best. Actually, let's just split this. I think that'll be easier. Back to back foiling, no skipping any pieces. And once we're done with this, we're going to go through and put the brown in between. And then we'll move on to our other doll head, our nice blondie girl over there. Which, fun fact, scared my husband and his friends when they came home from fishing a couple nights ago. Sorry, Steve. She was sitting on the doll head stand in the corner. And she must have snuck up on him. Oh. How is everyone doing? I know you're not doing the color right now, but are you enjoying what you're seeing? Do you have any Joico questions that I can answer? Don't know. If anyone's came up, I don't know if I can even see the chat until after, but sometimes it pops up. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Anything Joico, anything hair related. I don't know about non-hair related. I'm not super well equipped in other things, but definitely about Joico. We can talk all day long about it. So I'm going to say shout out again to my territory manager Stephanie, who will help me book all my classes. Donovan for helping me this morning figure out my technical difficulties. And of course, Marissa for setting it all up. Marissa, you are the best. I appreciate you. So again, just back to back to back to back to back to back. Non-stop. Can you see why I did the other half of her hair off of camera? Can you imagine just watching me do this for like an hour and a half? You would say, we do this every day, Katie. But this way you can see just a very different technique, and sometimes even though we do things the same every single day, sometimes it's nice to see someone else do it and you go, oh, maybe I'll try that next time, or why didn't I think about trying to mix those two things together? It's always fun to feel energized again, especially after being away from hair shows for so long. Hair shows was always one of my favorite things to do. And I hope one day that we'll be back there soon. Maybe like 2 more pieces up here. Tiny baby foils. Are you guys in your salon suites right now? Because I am, and I'm based in Diamond Bar. And it's so shiny and pretty outside today. I'm thinking, do I need to do something fun after this? What should I do? I don't know. I should go home and clean my kitchen is what I should do since it's my day off, but we all know we're probably not going to do that. Oopsies. Back to back to back. Do one more right here. The sides. Finally get to move on. Okay. Even when I went to come up with this sectioning and technique and everything, I just kind of was playing around, winging it. It's kind of fun to just get on a doll head and see what works, see what doesn't work, and I haven't done that in a very long time, so it's been very wonderful, and you feel energized after, which is, I think, just as important of staying up on new current trends and things is to keep energizing your career, Your clients will thank you, and I think you will too after being in the stagnant place for a while. All right, here we go. A few more foils, and then we will finally move on. You said, stop repeating yourself, Katie. We heard you already. Just kidding. But I finally just put a TV in my salon suite, which has been fun. It's been enjoyable being able to watch some TV in between clients. Do you have a TV in your salon suite? Because I would recommend it. And this is just a really old TV that I had from, I don't even know, years ago now. The scalp. Well, these pieces are very blondie down here. It has been way too long foiling, Katie. Speed up. That is okay. Actually, almost done. You're sticking with me. I appreciate you. I know sometimes it's not super great to watch these parts, but again, maybe we'll pick up something that we didn't see before. We do like 3 more foils right here, and then we'll move on to the brown. I think after I'm done, I'll be able to see the chat. So if you're still here and you're on TikTok, write your username below so I can go follow you. We can be friends on my other favorite app. YouTube is one of my favorite apps. I will watch YouTube a lot. I'm a murder mystery makeup kind of a gal, if you know what that is. So it's definitely fun to be on YouTube. So when they said you want to go live on YouTube, to be honest, I didn't even know that was an option, which is kind of funny because I love, again, being on YouTube, but I don't ever post on YouTube. So it actually sparked me. Maybe I should start doing some lives over here. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, I'm actually out of my 20 volumes, so I'm going to finish these photos with them. I still can't believe we're having so many technical difficulties this morning. The audio was being all silly. Was cutting in and out. I have been told that I can be very loud and very quiet, so I thought, is it me? It wasn't me. It's probably my phone, so again, shoot, dang it, time to get a new iPhone. What a terrible thing to learn, huh? Just kidding. I like getting new phones. Alright, we're so close. We're almost there. Luckily, applying the brown will be very easy. But I am going to put the youth lock on her ends. Again, I wouldn't recommend doing that. It is a great coverage, but as we all know, we can only get what we can get right now. So I do love the way it looks, the shininess, and it's very well balanced. So it's actually not going to make her ends turn green, as you can tell on the other side. But would I recommend it? No. I would say try to use the colors that go with it. So I would have gotten the matching demi cream with my base color. But that's okay. We can do what we can do. That's it. All right. Finally done. Last foil done. Let's get these out of the way. Again, I already had pre-mixed my 4NNG for convenience, so you guys didn't have to watch the back of my head. I'm going to use one of our Joico brushes. And I'm going to apply all of these missing hollow negative spaces with this color, scalp to ends. And I'm also going to go through and tap the root of each and every foil so it gives that really nice modernized look to it. And we will move on to Miss Blondie over there. Make sure we're really getting it in there. Actually, if you use our Lumi 10 brush, it might be easier. Let me see if I can find that real fast. It comes in a little tiny baby brush with some nice crisp edges. So I'm going to use that to apply real fast in between the foils, so I can be a little bit more precise, because I, of course, don't want to get it on the other side of the foils that I just put in a couple of days ago. So, if this is a look that you use or do a lot, where you're putting the color in between all of the foils, I would highly recommend our Lumi 10 for the 10-minute color. So you wait until your foils are pretty much done, and then you put it on the base for 10 minutes. It's one of the easiest, most simple money making, you don't got to really think about it much. Let's put there, but let's be careful around her face so we don't get her all stained up. Nothing worse than pulling foils out around the face and she's got a big old brown spot right there. There we go. Let's do this side. I'm really trying to squish it in there. But sometimes it's hard, so you don't want to disrupt the foils too much. So a cool part about, again, Lumi 10, if you need to go back and fix a spot you missed, it's only 10 minutes. But it must be mixed with our Lumi 10 developer. So I will pre-warn, you can't mix it with anything else besides our Lumi 10 developer. Alright, got her all up in there. Here we go. That should be okay. Okay, time to fill in all this negative space. When I was doing this, I was having so much fun. I felt like I was coloring again, and just putting in all of the missing negative space. Let's get you out of the way. I'm going to apply to all of the base first, and then I'll go back and hit the ends. Typically, maybe 10 minutes after, but I'm going to do it all back to back so I can move on to our next gal before we run out of time. You can see how I mix up our quick tones, because I did not mix those yet. You do want to mix those right before you're going to use them, because it is a quick processing toner. But luckily, you only have to use, excuse me, I want to itch my eye. You only have to use our 5 volume, and it's equal 1 to 1. So it's one of the best things. It's also ammonia free, our quick tones are, so you won't have to smell any of that hardcore. Sorry, my eye is really itchy. Excuse me one second. There we go. Nothing like getting brown color on your face, right? So I'm going through and just tapping each little baby root, face, whatever you want to call it. Making sure we're covering everything. I will say I'll probably overmix this last time, just so I make sure I don't run out halfway through. Back on here. There we go. There we go. If you're still with me, I appreciate you. I know it can be a little boring watching me just apply the touch-up, but it will be fun to see the after results. It'll be fun to say that you took a Y2K class in 2022. Who would have thought? Just kidding. Trends are cyclical, we know that. They'll be back around. Oops, excuse me. Sorry, my girl. But actually, after this little subsection, I'm gonna move to the back so I can start working away from her face again. Client comfort should be one of the more important things, so. Let's see, this way. All right. More on this side, just so it's a little easier for me to apply. You move around a lot while you're doing hair because I truly, truly do. A long time ago, I had a boss that said, like, you'll only be in that position, or they'll only be in a weird position for a short amount of time. You're going to do this for the next 20 years. And that really always stuck with me. So making sure I'm very comfy at work is important. You typically will see me in more of a casual wear plus some running shoes. But today I've jazzed it up and I'm wearing my Doc Marten boots. But just applying. Again, this is if you're just now coming in. I hope not, because that would be probably a weird place to come in. But no, this is our 4NN in Youth Lock, filling in all of the negative space around the bleach pieces we just put in. I can't wait to show you all of these end results. So again, please take to Instagram and TikTok to find me. I'll be there waiting for you. I'd love to follow you back. Okay, so now we are going to just cover up all of this in between. Let's do that very fast, Katie. And then we're going to get a new set of gloves and we'll show you how to apply our Defy Damage Pro Series 1 and 2. That came out, I want to say, in like 2018, I think, or 2019, and it's something that I have never not used. It's one of my favorite products, even if I might not spray Pro Series 1 in your hair every single time you come in. I am using the shampoo and conditioner. I'm using Pro Series 2 at the shampoo bowl, but the cool part about our Pro Series 1 and 2 is that one actually comes in an aerosol can. So there's no mixing your color or changing your formula in any way, shape, or form. You spray it in there and then you can apply the color. You can spray it in there and apply your relaxer or your perm, you know, your blowout solution, whatever you may be using, any chemical wise. You can definitely spray before, extending that hair's life, giving it 5 times more strength just from the first use. The tagline is see it, feel it, believe it, and man, are they not lying. It is instantaneous about how amazing your hair feels immediately after using that product. Okay. My poor little baby towel fell on the ground. Sorry, towel. Actually, let's switch to the bigger one. There we go. But yeah, and then after you spray your Pro Series 1, you are good to go. And you can even just do it for a haircut. So kind of what I'm going to show you on the other doll head is I'm going to spray it in. I'm going to wet the doll head immediately after. You're not rinsing out the product because it is accumulative. The more you use it, the better it is. And you're going to get up to 3 days or 3 shampoos worth of protection from UVA, UVB rays, heat protection, and just mechanical from touching it, or from any kind of, you know, going outside in the sun, going out, just recurling it, rebrushing it. We have these hair-like liposomes that our amazing chemist was able to create with our spot release technology, meaning our tech stays in your hair, kind of like, you know, like a time release does in different kind of medications. So again, the more you use it, the better it is in your hair, the more cumulative it gets. But we are able to, I say we like I had any part in it, Joico was able to put their smart release technology in every single one of our products, from hair care to some of the color. This kind of depends on what we are doing, but it is one of the best products ever. And I saw people, like, especially when it first came out, I was giving out samples to it and I couldn't remember who I was giving the samples to, and people would come back in and okay, butterfingers. people would come back in and be like, oh my gosh, what is that stuff that you were using the last time or whatever you gave me? It's so amazing. And I'd be like, what did I give you? It was Defy Damage. It's one of the best products ever, and I would 10 out of 10 recommend. I gotta switch sides again because I can't see this front area. I can miss this little baby chunk down here. So, especially with the doll heads, you want to be careful that we're not getting it all over her. Nothing worse than having a doll head with a bunch of color all over her head. But if you haven't used Defy Damage, I would absolutely recommend that you try it. I'm pretty sure they still come in smaller sizes. For a little bit they were coming in like little mini sizes, but I haven't seen those in a while, so I don't know if that's still a thing or not, but I would totally, absolutely 100% recommend trying out Defy Damage. Okay. Once we're done applying, you're going to say, good, please. We're going to move on to our little blondie gal back there. One last piece. One stretch. I'm definitely going to change my gloves in between so I do not get any dark brown on that beautiful platinum blonde over there. Honestly, I didn't even know doll heads came into that such a beautiful blonde color like that. It's amazing. Okay, let's get that out of her face. All right. And how long was that? An hour. Whew. About 45 minutes applying. When we are done applying, she's going to sit there and say, oh, maybe this is a little bitty piece. She's going to apply and sit here for about 45 minutes. Obviously checking those blonde foils, making sure that we are not damaging or hurting the hair, pushing it past its limits. I'm going to put this baby girl over here. Take my gloves off and we'll move to the next one. We still hanging out? We're also having fun over there? I hope you guys are still here with me. Sometimes an hour and a half is not long enough or it's too long. Just depends. Get all of this out of the way. Here we go. Here's this beautiful blonde doll head. I had to take some pictures of her because of how blonde she was. I'm not used to seeing how blonde and pretty blonde doll heads are like this. But right now, I've even had some of my platinum girls who want to add a little brown underneath their hair. But it scares me because I think, oh, they're going to hate that and then want to go back to what it was before the summer hits. So let me grab some gloves and my Defy Damage. So here is our Pro Series 1. It comes in an aerosol can. This is a medium size. And you really want to shake it up a whole bunch before you get started. Shaky, shaky, shaky. We're going to take 1 inch by 1 inch sections, starting in the back. And we are going to spray downwards, shaky, shake, down, like this. And you're going to take a clip, or a comb or a brush, you can comb it through. I've realized that I definitely want to just spray it all throughout the hair, and then I'll comb the whole head after. So spraying down, shaking in between if you need to. Like you're talking too much, I'll go to the sides and hit the sides. 1 inch by 1 inch. Move to the sides. I want to spray away from the client's face, all for client protection. Down. And after you spray this, you are good to go. You can start your color, you can start your chemical service, you can start any of the services, including a haircut. Away and down. Away and down. And she is done. I'm going to grab my comb real quick. comb her through. She is now protected for 3 days with 3 shampoos. I'll be wetting her hair down, and we're going to split it in half. I think what I'm going to do is right above the ear, so we still get a little bit of a funness in the front, but it doesn't take away from how bright she is in the front. I think sometimes our blondes want change, but it's scary to them, especially if they've been solid blonde for a really, really, really long time. But I am going to wet her down after I mix up my quick tones. So again, our quick tones come in 4 different colors. I haven't seen the silver one in a long time just because of everything going on, I think. So I'm going to use violet and clear as the top half of it in a bottle with mix our 5 volume in Lumi Shine. Again, must be using 5 volume, 1 to 1, equal parts. And then on the underneath part, I am going to do sand by itself in a bottle and with 5 volume as well. We're going to leave those both on for, I'm going to leave the bottom half for 20 minutes, the top half for 10 minutes. Then I'm going to wash them all the way out. I'll finish up my other doll head because we have about 25 more minutes. So I do like to label on the top so I know what I'm using when I'm using it. This is going to be my sand one, equal parts, 1 to 1, 5 volume. So I'm going to put, let's see, I use grams when I'm mixing, so I'm going to do 35 grams of sand with 35 grams of our 5 volume. These are quick toners, so if you leave them on for 5 minutes, you're going to get such a beautiful balance of, you know, these undertones. They help get rid of your pigment. Sometimes you don't wash the toner off, it's like not quite there. You could have left it on just like a little bit more. These are perfect for that. You go, okay, I'm just going to add a gloss real fast, and you can throw the violet on, and it just helps you connect those last bit of dots. So I'm going to do 50% violet to 50% clear. The clear you can actually use by yourself with a really fun gloss, but it helps kind of tone down how bright it is because it is progressive. So the longer you leave it on, the darker it will get. So clear helps you if you need to move a little bit slower, or if you say someone has to walk back to the shampoo bowl, it takes a little bit of time. Adding some extra clear into there is going to help you make sure we're not over processing. But that's why I like these colors, is because if you do over process them, they're beautiful. It's not going to turn your hair like hot purple or anything like that, but it's going to have a nice violet tone to it, which I think a lot of people love. So let me see, where'd the other violet go? I think I have one that's open already. I do. So I did 20 grams of clear, and I'll do 20 grams of violet, and then equal parts to Lumi Shine 5 volume. It is this liquid cream, they call it liquid cream texture. So it's perfect for a bottle. You can use a bowl and brush, but if you, you know, it helps with a little bit of the speed of it all. So here we are, mixed up both of our sand and our clear and violet, both mixed 1 to 1, 5 volume. I just finished up spraying her, and I'm going to go straight to the shampoo bowl. And people think that's crazy. You're not going to let it sit in there. You don't have to let it Defy Damage like rest for a few minutes. Nope, it's in there. You're good to go. So I'm going to wet her down real fast. Don't mind the back of my head. Here we go. She is blonde, but she is yellow. So we're gonna make her such a nice, pretty platinum blonde with that two-tone silver and clear. And then the sand underneath again is to give you this temporary deciding factor if I want to dye my platinum blonde with some undertones. You can have the opportunity to see if they like it or not before you ruin that platinum card you've been doing on her hair for all these years. I'll put these gloves on before I comb her hair out, just so it's easier for me to get them on now than later. I'm going to split her hair probably about 1 inch from her ear up all the way back, directly in half. One of the easiest looks, I think, when a client comes in like, I want to change, you go, oh no, and they go, just the brown underneath, you go, oh yes, I can do that. That's so easy. But knowing that eventually, again, if they want to go back, you can be ahead of yourself. And then they're going to be very happy to hear that it won't be that hard to go back to their platinum card if they ever do change their mind. And it's not so stark, because it's not going to be black, obviously. It is sand, so it's going to be a really pretty, like, beigey kind of color. It's going to have some really nice undertones, but balanced, so we're not going to have to, put this back, fill the underneath part of her hair. So, I thought she was looking a little off. Along with the new phone, I think a new doll head stand might be in the works as well. Okay, calm you down. Let's see. Probably about her eyebrow. I'm gonna go across. She is spinning in circles. You see? I'm gonna put a towel down. Probably gonna go a little bit below this occipital bone back here, just so it's not super chopped in half. And then I'm just gonna apply our quick tones real fast to it. Let it process 10 minutes on top, 20 minutes underneath. So I'm gonna start with the underneath and then rinse them both out. And then you can see my final looks over at my Instagram, or at Joico's Instagram. I have my little clippy. And if you do end up doing any kind of colors or looks even similar to this, I would love to see. I know I can't take credit, it's not my idea, but it is fun to see everyone's different take on it and how you would achieve this look. Please tag me. I would love to see it. Come on, little guys. Okay. Sometimes I think I wonder if my neighbors can see through the glass, and I think, is she just talking to herself? Wouldn't that be funny, huh? Okay, let's check the front for symmetry, make sure we're equal. Looks like go a little lower on this side, because that would not be fun, huh? You do all of this just to not be equal in the front. Okay. So our quick toners go on wet hair the best. I've actually I don't think I've ever put it on dry hair before, just because it helps blend it together. Put that up. So I'm going to apply the sand on the end underneath part, and then move over to our violet and clear formula. I'm going to put this underneath there. One, so we're not dripping anywhere, but two, she stops moving around as much. Come on. Okay, here we go, our sand. Easy to mix. I'm going to show you just like it's definitely nice and liquidy. You could even do this with a shampoo bowl if you wanted to, or if you want to do a little bit more precise like I am, you can definitely do it over here too. I'm just going to split it in half, so make sure we're covering everything. Okay, here we go with our sand. We're gonna put her head down. Yeah, I'll put her head down. If you have any doll head stand recommendations that are not from Amazon, because this is where this girl's from, this stand is from, I'm definitely looking for a nicer one. Okay, so comes out clear, white. Just going to apply it everywhere. Again, starting in the back area. Trying to be as clean as I possibly can. Our client comfort is everything. We have our fresh fragrance tech in here. So alongside not being ammonia based, it does have this amazing smell of iris, bergamot, and one other thing I can't remember right now, but it is so nice, and you'll instantly see that it's already changing. Maybe not on this camera, but it's already changing. Let's drop this section down. Put my hands off, and then go. Nice and precise. If you have any questions about Defy Damage or all things Joico, please feel free to ask me. I am an open book. I love Joico with all my heart and soul. Especially if you go see my TikTok, you'll think, wow, she really does. Because all my videos are me just loving on this company and all the amazing products that we come up with. Look at this stance right here, you guys. Can't beat that. So I'm just applying everywhere. The cool part is if you do get on her skin, it's going to be light enough where it will not stain her. Unlike that for NNG, will most likely stain because it is a darker brown. Ooh, she's falling. This is not the time to fall, my girl. Oh. This is one of my favorite colors to use, especially if I'm doing like my darker hair gals that want some like sandy tones, caramely tones, but they don't mean orange caramely, they mean beige caramel. So it's one of my favorite things, especially to finish with it. I kind of use it like a top coat or a last minute oopsie doopsies. I washed it off too soon. Let me get it there. You see how liquidy it is, but it's so easily blendable. That's the cool part about it. You can mix them all together. This is a fun way to change up your platinum cards without doing too much work for you later on in life. Same for them. And I'm going to split it in half with like one of our big artisan foils, and then I'll finish the top. What time is it? Oh. Still got a little time. We're doing okay. We're doing okay with time. This is why I love Joico's bottles. Super easy to use. Here we go. I'm going to grab a towel, clean up around the face to make sure we are not staining her anywhere. Again, it's probably going to be light enough that it won't stain, but just out of niceness. I'm going to grab one of our big artisan foils, maybe even two of them, and separate that. So when I drop this hair down, it's not going to touch any of that color and get on our ends anywhere. Perfect. Here's our violet and clear mixture together, again 1 to 1. I'm going to sit her up a little bit and we're just going to apply to the top. Sorry about this dull head, you guys. It's not doing what I want it to. So with the violet, you're going to see it change probably even faster because this is slightly yellowish blonde. Yeah, I love some doll head recommendations if you got them. All away from the face as much as we possibly can. What's everyone's plans for the rest of today? I actually have a free day. The rest of my Joico people are doing a training event right now, so I'm going to see if I can hop on that Zoom call after I'm done here and see some lovely faces. But of course, I will be finishing, styling, and posting all of this before I do anything else. I can't tell you how many times these have come in handy for us while we're at hair shows. Or running around the back room. It's such an easy way to get the colors we're looking for in such a quick, fast way, which most of the time at hair shows, that's all we have is no time. Just move as fast as we all possibly can. to always apply it at the base first, and then it's way easier to squish into those ends. Okay, we have 10 more minutes. You gotta hurry fast, Katie. Some things I do is I put it in about half an inch by half an inch, and as I'm dragging out, I'm leaving a line of the toner behind, so it's a lot easier that I'm making sure that I am getting every little baby piece. Nothing worse than going back to the chair and seeing that you missed a whole piece of blonde and it's the wrong color compared to the rest of the pretty toned blonde that you just did. Bottle application is like having your own little comb right there built in. Apply it all to the ends after, and then you guys can come back a little bit later and see what's going on. I love it. I hope you all enjoyed my little Y2K flashback to the Xtina Britney days era. I truly appreciate you being here with me today, and or even if you're watching this later on YouTube, I appreciate you coming by and saying hi. I love this job and I love educating, and I can't wait to do even more, especially with Salon Republic. It's one of my favorite places to be. So, all right, now I'm gonna do the good old mush and squish. That is a technical term, don't get me wrong. Just kidding. And we're gonna squish this all in the rest of our hands and set a timer. You can even comb it through if you want, but trying to not blend the top and the bottom together. I think I'll have to get some lunch here soon. I work in a parking lot that has a Sprouts, and they have an amazing deli over there. I love eating their deli sandwiches. So, pushing and squishing. It feels so soft in the hair, and it's really easily manipulable. Manipulable? Is that a word? Manipulable? Something like that. You can move it really easily in your hands. That's the word I'm looking for. Feels so soft. I'm going to replace any arginine that's been missing from the extreme blonding they've been doing for such a long time, and it's just a fun little quick change that a lot of platinum blondes or even solid brunettes don't get to do quite often, you know. You're blonde, you're blonde. You have brown hair, you have brown hair. So adding these two different techniques to it, even again, the old one, if you used the last technique I showed you, even if you use a light brown with your blonde, it will give you a really cool dimensional look and blendy, and no shadow root after, which is the best. So, all right. I think we are in here, good to go. Just gonna make sure we're getting all of these little areas. I'm not going back. I'll be so sad if I have to. Just kidding. Okay. I'm gonna show you how much it's already changed underneath here. It's gonna be such a pretty, like, just a little, somewhat of a change without it being like, oh my gosh, she changed her platinum hair. So I'm gonna leave that on. Make sure I'll cover it down here. And I will be back on my Instagram stories and in a regular post today, hanging out. If you have any questions, you want to talk, you want to ask me what my hair color is, I am an open book. I appreciate Joico, I appreciate Salon Republic and everything that they've done for us in our hair industry for the last year or so. I love you all so, so, so much. I'm going to put this back on there. Look at the time, we're going to set a timer, and we'll be rinsing around soon, but it's been 85, oh, we still got 5 more minutes, you guys. Oh my gosh, should we check the other foils? let's check the other place. What do I do with that, girl? There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh, she is good. She looks super good. Let's move you out of the way. That brown is good. I love it. Let's check these foils in here. Woohoo! That is, oh, this ring light is not the bee's knees. Can you see? No, okay. There we go. 5 more minutes. Let's check these foils. Ooh, they're looking good. Oh, come on, light. Come on, light. They're looking good. They're looking like we want them to. And we are all done with this. I am going to tone with our quick tones. Violet by itself, 100%. Not toning it down, not mixing it up. And that will be 1-to-1 violet, 1-to-5 volume. So when we're all done processing, please come to my Instagram and check it out. Let me see if I can see the chat right now that I put my hands down. How can I see the chat? Live chat. All messages are visible. Oh, there we go. Hello, everyone. Oh, yay. Jenny McCarthy Children. Yes, that's exactly right. Oh, I love that so much. So cute, Stephanie. So, anyways, I think that is it for me. I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for staying through that hour and a half of me just applying color and getting color on my chin. I truly appreciate you. I love you so much. My name is Katie Alm. I'm an artistic educator for Joico. Follow me on TikTok at Katie Alm with 1 E and Instagram Katie Alm with 2 E's. Please don't forget to follow Joico. Don't forget to follow Salon Republic, the Hair Game Podcast, all the amazing things that they do. We love you so very much, and happy Y2K out there. You have a beautiful day, okay? Thank you so much. Bye.